This review might make some people either really mad that you're like, how could you say that? Or this review is going to make some people out there really happy. But all I have to say to you guys is, don't always listen to reviews. Don't always listen to Rotten Tomatoes. Do not. If you want to see a movie, and if you go and see that movie and it's getting trashed on and you liked it, that is fine. Because I'm here to tell you guys, don't always listen to the reviewers. Don't always listen to me. If you like a movie, you like it. If you hate it, you hate it. Well, here's my opinion. I don't get all the hate. The Strangers Prey at Night. I can't believe I'm saying this, but 10 years ago, that is just shocking. I remember this movie. I remember when the first one came out. My mom and dad rented from Blockbuster, and they had to go watch it in the other room, and I heard noises in my room, and I couldn't watch it because it was rated R. But I remember when the first Strangers came out, and I remember watching it for the first time on HBO late at night. It was like Cinemax. It was one of those channels. I remember watching it, and I'll never forget being so creeped out. Do you know why? It's because that movie felt real. I mean, the first Strangers felt like a real horror movie. It felt like I was actually watching people get their house invaded and killed. So now, 10 years later, we're now at the sequel, and a movie that was supposed to come out like last year got delayed, and then all this stuff happened, and it finally comes out, and guys, I haven't seen a single trailer, not a single commercial to this movie. I literally walked into this movie not knowing anything. All I knew, the main girl from Mad Men was in it. That's all I knew. And I saw the poster of them three standing there. That's all I knew. I didn't even know the storyline. I had no idea what this movie was. And I'm glad, because I watched trailers afterward and they did show a little too much. But in this, I go into this movie blind. It helps so much. So, The Strangers pretty much is about this family, their daughter, they're sending her to some boarding school, so they're gonna drop her off the next day, but they have to stay at some trailer park owned by their uncle at night, so they stay there, and the strangers, they come out, and they're praying at night, and they start killing them off, and they gotta survive the night. I'm gonna say this right now, either again, you're gonna hate me for this, or you're gonna like me for this. This movie currently holds a 31% Rotten Tomatoes, and I walked in this theater, and I didn't know anything, but I did ask my manager, and I asked a few people walking out. I was like, was it good? Is it okay? Everyone told me it was trash. I watched it, I walked out, and I said this, and I'm gonna say it now. I liked it. I mean, I don't understand the hate. Okay. This movie isn't like no A+, not A-. There are some, I'll start with the negatives. First things first, these characters are dumb. There are some serious dumb moments by these characters. You're like, how? Why would you do that? Like, there are some moments you are literally like, you guys are stupid scenes. And like, it makes you mad. There's also some dumb horror cliche moments that you're like, alright, I see this coming a mile away. Alright, there's that, okay. We get that out of the way. And we get like 20 minutes in the very beginning of this movie just set up with these characters and this whole like thing with the daughter and the mom, and you're like, I don't care. They don't have great character development at all. And this movie is like an hour and 25 minutes. And the first 20 minutes is just setup. But now, when the strangers actually start attacking and trying to kill them, this movie becomes very entertaining to me and very suspenseful. And this movie definitely is going for that 80s vibe, and it's filmed in a horror way that I really liked. I thought the directing was awesome. Like, I really like the directing. I don't know if it's because I'm a huge John Carpenter fan, and this movie is paying so many tributes and all that stuff to John Carpenter. I know this exactly. Right when stuff started to happen, I was like, that's John Carpenter right out of the book. I love the zoom-in cameras. It felt like an old movie. And just me, I don't know if it's because I live in South Carolina kind of stuff, and I see trailer houses all the time where I live, but the setting was so eerie, and the smoke and the fog and all these houses and no one's there. I don't know. I really like the setting of this movie. And yes, one of the biggest things in the first Strangers, you don't see the killers a whole bunch. They pop up in the shadows and the darkness, and they do that in this movie. There are some great intense scenes where the camera's focusing on a character. In the background, it's just the stranger standing there. It's just them standing there, and there's no sound. There's no boom, like nothing like that. You literally see them, and that is awesome. I love that stuff. There's no sound or nothing. It's just them standing there, and I love that. That is great. And a lot of people are going to be mad because they are shown a lot more in this movie. But I really enjoyed it. And the kills, I mean, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, the kills are so boring. It felt real. These deaths felt real. And the intensity felt awesome. And I loved it. It felt intense in some scenes. And there is one scene, I will not give any spoilers. There is one scene with an 80s music and a very intense scene. It was my favorite scene of a horror movie I've seen in a good bit. I mean, It last year did some scenes that I really won't forget. There is a scene in this movie that is pure, intense horror, and it felt so real. And the music in the background added so much effect. There's a lot of 80s pop culture into this movie, and it's set in the 21st century, but the music is definitely 80s themed. And again, it felt like John Carpenter. Cinematography felt like John Carpenter. And the ending, I will not spoil the ending, but if you are a true horror fan like me, there is a scene that is totally ripped off / referenced from another famous horror film, that right when the scene happens, you are like, this looks familiar, and you're like, oh, that's totally a rip-off from that. But I really enjoyed the reference scene. Like, if you see this movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But overall, for an hour and 20 minute just throwaway sequel horror movie, I thought it had good directing, good intense scene, some realistic, real horror scenes, a scene that I truly love. There's a scene I'm gonna remember for a while. But yes, there is horror cliches and a dumb horror setup and some dumb horror characters. But overall, for an hour and 20 minute movie, I enjoyed it. I didn't hate this movie. I liked it. And I know some people are going to be like, what? But this movie is getting so much hate, and I don't understand. I enjoyed the Stranger sequel. I didn't love it as much as the first one. The first one is like a B+, A- kind of movie. That movie is freaking real, man. But this movie is not that. There is dumb horror characters, but I enjoyed this movie a lot. I enjoyed it. And the acting is fine for the most part. I really like the girl from Mad Men. The dad was the guy from The Ring. I really like seeing him again. The daughter, it took me forever to figure out where she was from, but she's from Bridge Terabithia. She was in, what was she in? She was in Wizard of Waverly Place. I didn't really realize it was her until like halfway through the movie. But I thought she was good. I thought the brother was good. Again, I really like this movie, and that's shocking. It's really shocking because I saw nothing about this movie, and I heard bad things, and I walked in and I walked out saying, I liked it. So I'm going to give Strangers Prey at Night a C+. I liked it, guys. I know that's shocking, but you can't always go with Rotten Tomatoes. You got to go with your gut, and my gut said that was a fine, good horror film, if you ask me. Anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, guys.